Now from your textbook. Session 1 in your textbook, Roles of Entrepreneurship. The number one point is entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship play a significant role in the socio-economic development of a country. Obviously, the more the number of entrepreneurs in a country, the more the country progresses. The entrepreneurs start the enterprises with a view to minimizing the unemployment. So it gives it first creates jobs. It creates jobs. Okay. This is the main cause of all the socio-economic issues that result in increasing the total income of a country. In addition, goods and services produced by entrepreneurs after meeting the domestic demand are exported to the foreign countries to earn foreign exchange. If we have enough supply of goods for our own people, okay, and even after that we are left with a surplus amount, so we can export those goods to other countries, and in exchange we can uh, earn foreign currency, okay, foreign exchange. So this will help in increasing the economy, or improving the economy of the country. In this manner, the entrepreneurs play a significant role in the country's growth and prosperity with regard to production, employment generation, and exports. The more you produce goods, the more people you need. So you are also creating jobs for people, for the local people, and also you are exporting goods to other countries. Okay. It increases productivity through technical and other innovative approaches. So the thing is, if we start producing things locally, if we start making things locally, like India created the Covishield and Covaxin and Covishield. Two vaccines are created by India. So this is now India is one of the five leading countries of the world which has created the vaccine. So already the vaccine is available for us at lower costs. If we had imported it from other countries, we would have to pay more to use that, right? So because we have produced it, hence it is not only available to us, but we would also be selling it to other countries, and in exchange we would be earning money, which would be beneficial for the country itself. So anything you create in the country, if you are creating it on a large scale and if its quality is that good, you can easily think about exporting it to other countries. And not only that, you will also start getting demand from other countries, right? Then it increases productivity through technical and other innovative approaches. Just a second. So the more new type of technical approaches you use, or the technical innovations you make, okay, new technology, if you find out and you are incorporating that in developing your product or providing a particular service, if you are putting in innovation, creativity, then that also increases the productivity. It aids the transfer of technology, plays a strategic role in commercializing new products and inventions. It drives the industries forward by bringing in innovative products. So all these points are just repetitions of the previous points which we have already studied. Okay, all this you have already studied in the first 7 sessions from NCERT textbook which I have given you, but there it was a bit more creative. You had lots of examples to explore there. Okay, so students, if you go through examples and case studies, you will be able to learn concepts in a better way. It aids the effective utilization of resources. Yes, obviously, if you create something like we had studied, if you remember in green skills, we had studied this. If resource utilization should be maximum, and more companies, they should start focusing towards renewable sources of energy. Okay, and if renewable sources are energy is used, that will mean that the energy costs will come down automatically, because as more people would shift towards renewable sources of energy, the non-renewable sources of energy like coal, petroleum and all, that would be reduced, and when the demand reduces, obviously the prices go down, right? So new things, new fuel options should be explored, like using hydrogen based fuel, or using CNG fuel, or using any type of fuel which involves any renewable source of energy. Okay, maybe in future, in we can just consider in the futuristic world, as we have been already seeing in many movies. Okay, many sci-fi movies, we have already been seeing that they are using things like dark energy and antimatter, which we could even use for reaching outer space, which we haven't explored yet. So this is how we can try innovating things. Standard of living, it enhances the living standards of people. Obviously, if you are a self-employed person, okay, like I'll give you the example of Rani and Ramu is a chai wala, and he's a local tea seller, only carrying out a traditional business, right? So all people who come there, they mostly belong to the lower sections of the society, the laborers, the truck drivers. Okay, these are the people who are generally his customers. Okay, so he just manages to earn enough money so that he could just get through or get by in a month, just to make ends meet, that is uska kharcha chal jaye ek mahine ka. He is able to eat and live, just survive through the month. So he makes enough money for doing that. But talking about Rani, what she did was she thought of a new way. She brought in some innovation by selling different types of tea. So her clientele was expanded to different sections of the society, and because of that, she can earn even more money than Ramu. And she can also, when her business grows, when her enterprise grows, she could even employ more people. She could start delivering different types of tea to her customers. Okay, it's not like delivering the actually prepared tea in the liquid form. She can do it that way also, and moreover, she can also collect, she can also gather or manage to buy tea leaves, those tea leaves from certain places, and she could even start delivering those dry tea leaves also to people, right? So this will enable her not only to improve her standard of living, she would be earning more money. Muhammad Arshan Khan, please, yes, keep your mic muted. So it will enhance the standard of living. Not only she will improve her standard of living, it's not just a matter of surviving anymore, but she will be able to live comfortably. Okay, she would be providing jobs to other people. So obviously, it is like the more jobs are created, the more the standard of living of people also changes. So many things like school, your daily grocery needs, okay, your traveling expenses, you can even, the family can even afford to go to cinemas. Okay, life expectancy improves, healthcare, you have access to healthcare, right? So all these things are, they come under standard of living. It creates new markets and enables expansion into global markets. So once Rani's tea business, it starts growing, she is able to reach different sections of society. Slowly she can even start a website of her own where she could promote her different types of tea. She can even make vlogs. This is something which is used as a very fast means of promoting products. Okay, that is creating vlogs. So she could start her own vlog, and she could upload videos. She could start her own YouTube channel where she could upload videos of different tea recipes she is serving, and this would enable her to reach global market also. People from outside India would also start approaching her and placing orders. Okay, if she starts a kind of an online delivery system, then people from different places could place orders, so she could expand her business to the global market also. Session 2, entrepreneurial process. Yes.
But due to the previous that you had said na about the expansion of global market,
Mhm.
that Amazon company had also done like this, and he in 5 minutes he earned one 13 billion due to
Yes,
this online.
exactly. Yes, earlier Amazon is an American website. Okay, so earlier it was only confined to America, US, but then slowly they started expanding it to different places, and now we have domains specific to countries. Like here we have www.amazon.in. Likewise, that in means related to India. So Amazon is available in almost all countries, right? And here it is also attracting goods and services from the local makers. The people who have their own warehouses or the companies based in India, they are also able to sell their products through Amazon. And not only that, you can also become a seller on Amazon if you are, you are producing something or you are buying something from somewhere, you can sell that on Amazon, right? So this is, yes, very good example, Tanmay.
Ma'am,
Once the end, yes, you can ask questions.
ma'am,
Yes, yes,
if
yes,
I this,
dear.
ma'am, ma'am, if I live in Nepal and ma'am, I want to order some things from Amazon. So, ma'am, I have to type www.amazon.ne.
Yes, of course, because that would be related to, because the thing is, I'll tell you why. You can even type amazon.com, but .com will take you to the American domain where everything would be available in dollars. So you'll have to make your payment in dollars over there. Right. So if you are using a country specific domain, like I use .in or you use .ne, so that would mean that you will be able to make your purchases from within the local markets within that particular country using the currency which is available there. Right. So it won't be considered as an international purchase. Right now, most things on Amazon.in, most of the things which you find, even if you check out Amazon Prime, the app, it has different number of things or shows for Indian group, Indian society. And there are certain, like if I want to see a kind of a series which is maybe it's a bit controversial or it's something which is not suitable for the Indian audience, but I want to see it because I am interested in it. So I search for it, I get it on Amazon Prime. Now the thing was, I thought that I already have the Amazon Prime subscription. Why am I not able to see? The thing was, it was blocked in my country or my region, right? So that is the thing. You certain things are would be available in your country, certain things won't be available in your country, right? So if you go to amazon.com, you will have to make your payment in dollars, provided you can you have that facility where you can make payments. Like my debit card which I use for online transactions, it is not suitable for international transactions. That is transactions which are made between our country and outside India. If I want to get something from elsewhere, I'll have to apply for that in the bank, and only then they would activate that service on my debit card and I'll be able to do that, right? So that is why. But right now when I make any purchase from amazon.in, I'm able to make it because it is meant for the domestic market. Understood? Is it clear, Jay Tripathi?
Yes, ma'am.
That is. Anybody else has any questions? Before we proceed, you can ask questions, students. Just raise your hands and I'll give you the chance to ask the question. There is a bad network quality right now. Just stop the screen share for some time and let's see if it gets better. First of all, just raise your hands and tell me if you can hear me clearly. Okay, fine. Thank you. That will be all. 2, 3 people giving me the answer. That's fine. Shall I proceed? So I'm moving on to the next section. Once the enterprise gets established, the entire entrepreneurial process effectively becomes a recurring process of opportunities. Recurring process means, I'll give you the example of Prem Ganpati over here, right? So once his dosa plaza was established, right? What happened is, because he had set it up near the railway station, he got a big clientele, he got a big customer base where customers were pouring in from different directions, as that was a railway station where mostly it is a commuting place for not only local people but also people coming from different parts of the country. Okay, there are South Indians also, there are North Indians also, there are people from eastern part of India also. Okay, so it is like a whole conglomeration of different kinds of people. And as South Indian breakfast is something which is heavily popular in the world, okay, it is something which is preferred by anybody, be it a child, be it uh, a working adult, or be it a senior citizen. Everybody loves dosa. So he started getting opportunities from everywhere. How many people started demanding different flavors? They said that, okay, sir, it is very tasty, but if you could just add cheese into it. So he got an idea that, okay, I can add cheese into it. Somebody said, add mayonnaise. Okay, I'll add mayonnaise. So this way he developed 108 different flavors of that. Okay, 100 and different types of dosas were created because of this, so that it could satisfy the needs of different sections of the society, right? So that is what recurring progress means, repeating progress of opportunities. And not only that, he expanded his outlet also, and he employed 150 customers, sorry, 150 employees there. It involves judicious allocation of scarce resources to pursue the value adding opportunities. Scarce resources, resources which are not available very easily. Like these days, we can consider that some of the scarce resources are the non renewable resources. Petroleum has become costly, okay, because it's the petroleum, the already existing petroleum reserves are decreasing day by day. Coal, it has become costly. Earlier, I'll give you the example, steam engines were there when I was very small, when I was a kid. At that time, I have seen steam engines. Okay, but now do you find steam engines anywhere? No, they have become like a heritage product. They are kept in museums, railway museums, and some at some places they are just used for showcasing that grandeur. Okay, some people like that feel, so that is why for a short distance they are just used to carry a few wagons, maybe 4 or 5 coaches are carried on. So this is like kind of a heritage train which is created only for fun purposes, not for regular commuting, right? So this is like all those resources which are non-renewable, we are slowly shifting towards the more renewable and available resources. Steps involved in entrepreneurial process. Deciding, now what are the various steps to become an entrepreneur? Number one, deciding to become an entrepreneur. That is, I don't want to work under someone. I want to be a self-employed person, and not only that, I want to create something new which would be beneficial to the society. In this stage, the entrepreneur decides to start his own enterprise. Okay. The desire to become an entrepreneur may be triggered by any of the following factors. surfacing of an innovative idea backed by the ability to start a business. Like if you remember the story of Soumya, which we had seen right in the beginning. Soumya, she had just shifted to the city. She used to live in a village, in remote village in Karnataka, and she had shifted to the city along with her parents. So her parents were like very hardworking. Her father was the owner of a cloth shop, and her mother was a cook who used to cook in various houses, right? And what she wanted was that she thought, if I start going to college, I'm not going to be a burden on my parents. Rather, I'm going to earn money myself and become the breadwinner of the house. So what she did was, does anybody remember what did Soumya do?
She saw that everyone wants homemade food, so she started tiffin center.
She, not tiffin center, dear. She first went to college, and there she found that most of her friends, they craved for healthy snacks, okay, rather than junk food. So she started making, preparing healthy snacks, okay, nutrient rich snacks at her home itself, and she started selling them in small quantities to her friends. They were liked by her friends, and they started demanding more. So she started preparing even more, and she started selling them. So she was able, within a period of 2 years, she had created a full-fledged enterprise which was selling healthy snacks to people. And not only that, she slowly expanded her business in such a way that her snacks were now available in every big or small retail outlet or restaurant in the city. So this is what she got an idea. She first looked into her surroundings, what the people want, then she got the idea. So finding the suitable idea is also very important. Then inheriting wealth and skills to establish an enterprise. Obviously, you need the money first of all. Little bit of money is also, if you have like if you belong to a business class family, you have no, absolutely no problem. You won't be an entrepreneur until and unless you can choose to become an entrepreneur. But most people, they think that no, because it's already a business class family which I belong to, I will just be carrying on with this business. So that is what they think, right? What about others? When those who don't have a business class background, they could take a loan from somewhere, or they could work somewhere and save money over a period of time and then invest that money. So wealth is required whether or not you want. Skills, obviously you need the skills also. आपको बेचना आना चाहिए, okay? So skills are also needed to start an enterprise. Prevailing problems in the existing jobs. This is the most important reason why people shift towards self-employment, because jobs are usually what, see, you are working for someone, so you have to work according to that person's preferences. You have to be on time. Okay, you cannot take many leaves. Even sometimes we have to compromise on our health and we have to still keep working. So these are the things. So you won't face problems with your enterprise. If you become a self-employed person, you won't face problems with jobs. Willing to become one's own boss. You can be your own boss. Pursuing own ideas, doing what you are interested in, okay, realizing the need of earning money, identifying and evaluating the opportunities. In this stage, the entrepreneur identifies the prospective opportunities. For example, Soumya identified the opportunity when she learned that her friends want healthy snacks rather than junk food. Then about that lady who we were talking about, I don't remember the name, but who started the toy business, handmade toys. She started making wooden toys, and she started looking for opportunities. Now somebody complained that the toys have very sharp edges, my children got hurt. So what she did was she quickly improvised it, and she made some changes into it. She just polished the edges in so that they could become smooth and rounder edges, and hence she started selling those things. So this is like identifying opportunities wherever possible. Prem Ganapati, what opportunity did he find? That he thought there are not many options available in the railway stations for eating. Many people either have to carry their own food, or there are still stations. I'll tell you from my own life experience. When I usually through a train, and my route is through a place, it passes a station, a remote station named Singrauli in Madhya Pradesh. If somebody have heard about it, I don't know. So it's a, if somebody belongs to that place, kindly do not take it otherwise. But to be very honest, there are hardly any food options available on the station. Okay, and the thing is, usually it is the morning time, when morning or the night. So when our train approaches there, usually if it is the night, we already have food while going up, while moving, going from Bhopal to my native place. It is like okay, but when coming back, usually it comes during the day. So there are not many food options available on the station, and it's not a story of that station, but there are numerous such stations which are like big stations, but still there are no food options. So if somebody thinks that okay, I will start a food joint there in the station, so people and passengers commuting, they would have options to food at reasonable costs, right? So this is what identifying opportunities. Sometimes the prospective entrepreneurs are able to identify opportunities through entrepreneurship development and training programs and government policies. Sometimes some people don't need any type of training. Okay, but some people, they do think that okay, if I get some training, I will be getting educated, I will be developing that necessary skill set, right? So government is providing such trainings because it would be a benefit to the country also, right? And hence government is promoting such type of training programs. Entrepreneurs can analyze, evaluate, and screen the identified opportunities. Screening means filtering out the opportunities which he don't doesn't want, and taking in what he wants. This enables them to judge if the identified opportunity is realistic and returns of the opportunity are as per the resources required. So the opportunity has have to be like fully studied, that whether taking up this opportunity is going to be beneficial. It's not like business is all about taking risks. So I am just taking a risk random out of the blue. No, it is all about taking a calculated risk. रिस्क भी ले रहे हो, मगर ऐसे समझ के लो कि रिस्क अगर ले रहे हो तो आपको ऐसा नुकसान ना हो कि आपको आत्महत्या करनी पड़े. It should not be like that. Okay, that you'll have to ultimately commit suicide because of that. It should be a kind of risk, a kind of bearable risk which you can manage. Okay, so you have to think, okay, I have this much of money, so I will be saving half of it. Half of it I will be investing in my business. Okay, even if it doesn't work for some time, I still have a stable job, so I'll carry on this business part time in my off hours, and I will keep I'll keep continuing with my job also. So I have a steady source of income already, but I'll have to work day in and day out to establish my enterprise. That is my business. And once
Ma'am,
the business
ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, if some if by mistake some uh, uh, disaster occur, like the business we had established get burned means if the shop we had made for a business. So if in a case some burning case will come, it get burned, so what we will do?
See, normally when somebody starts a business, you might have heard about something known as insurance. right? It's not that you start a business out of the blue. You have to keep in mind the insurance, because natural calamities are certain things which are unavoidable. Okay, you cannot avoid them. कल को बिजली गिर गई और आप ही के दुकान पे बिजली गिरी, फिर क्या करोगे? किसको दोष दोगे? Right? If it is somebody who is instigating the fire, some arsonist is there who is instigating the fire, in that case, and if you have ample evidence against the person, you can claim the damage from that person. But if it is an act of God, what will you do? You need to get, for these reasons only, you need to get your business insured, right? That is why it is known as calculated risk. Understood? So there are so many shops which are there. How do you think they manage? Like, I'll give you the example of Apurti shop. Have you all heard about it? It has two or three different chains, different outlets. Apurti is in Indrapuri, if you have heard about it. So Apurti is a shopping complex and it's quite old. Okay, one of the students in our school also, he belonged to that family only. And so it's like, I'll tell you, there was in 1990, when 1993, when we had the riots. Nobody remembers, because you people might not remember because you were not even born at that time. But I was like in class 4 or 5. I was in 4th or 5th at that time, and we experienced that. It was kind of a very very scary experience. We used to have curfews and all. During that time, that shop, that whole supermarket, it was burned. It was completely set on fire by mobsters, and it was completely burned down. But they were able to recover. Why? Because it was entirely insured. It was insured, so they were able to claim the insurance. Like we purchase a new car, it becomes mandatory to get it insured, right? Why? Because in case of, you can never predict accidents, right? So in case of any mishap, if it happens, then we should have a plan B always, right? So any kind of such enterprise, if you start, you need to get it insured. Insurance तो आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. कल को चोरी हो गई, कुछ हो गया, किसी ने आग लगा दी, right? Or if there is a kind of a riot going on, we don't have control over such things. These are all external factors, environmental factors, over which we people don't have any control, right? So there we need to take such kind of decisions, right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Developing a business plan. So you need a business plan, you need an idea, and not only idea, but how you will execute that. That is also important. Setting up goals, standards, methods, techniques for achieving those set goals. A well drafted business plan enables an entrepreneur to guide and monitor his activities towards the already set goals. Taking the case of Soumya, once her snack business took off, okay, that is, it started growing, she started getting more demands from people. So what she did was, she purchased a big snack machine, and she started producing even more. And not only that, she also started giving commissions to people, to those who will recommend her products or recommend her snacks to someone, right? Determining the required resources. The entrepreneur assesses the available resources. So whatever resources are available, the entrepreneur first checks them out, identifies the resources that are essential to convert that opportunity into a reality, carefully estimate the amount and quality of resources required, determine whether they are insufficient or inappropriate. Like, it has to be decided. One very important thing is to decide the uh, amount of raw materials needed, whether we have a cheaper alternative. Looking for a cheaper alternative doesn't mean that you look for a substandard raw material. Okay, You want to start a cloth business and you buy a very cheap material which won't even last a single day. 4 दिन बाद वो पोछे के काम आएगा. So do you think anybody is going to buy that? Obviously no. So you have to think about such options where the raw material which you are purchasing, the cloth material which you are providing, it is good quality as well as it is of reasonable cost. It should not be too high or too low. It should be somewhere in between, that is reasonable cost. So raw materials cost should be reasonable, and it's the entrepreneur's job to figure out things how to bring down the total cost of production of goods. Okay, so that he is able to sell his products at a reasonable price also and earn sufficient profit also. The entrepreneur needs to acquire the required resources on time while focusing on the right quality and quantity. If you have seen, there is a series, if you check it out on YouTube, Discovery Channel, it was actually a show usually telecast on Discovery Channel, how it's made. If you just check that out, you will find one very important thing which they always stress on. That is quality control. Whatever they are producing, whether it is a bubble gum, whether it is lipstick, whether it is bread, anything which is being manufactured, quality control is something which is always taken care of. Any faulty product, it is quickly moved out or thrown out of the conveyor belt. So the system has a way to detect the faulty things or the faulty products, and they are quickly moved out of the conveyor belt. So quality control is also very, very important. You need to, every entrepreneur needs to pay utmost attention to the quality of the goods or services which he is providing. Converting the idea to an enterprise. Develops the enterprise to execute the identified opportunity, implement the already formulated business plan, organize resources, take into account all internal and external environmental forces. Like the point raised by Tanmay, that is about any kind of mishap happening that comes under external environmental forces. Managing and growing the enterprise. Efficient resource utilization is required. Whatever resources you have, you need to utilize them properly. Identify and examine the operational problems and solve them. Implement an effective control system to identify and resolve the problems on time. Okay, so being the entrepreneur, you also have to solve all the problems which keep cropping up. Sometimes there could be any problem with the supplier of raw material, you have to solve that. Sometimes it could be that the supplier who is supplying raw materials to you, his shop has gone through any problem, because of which he is not able to supply the raw material to you on time. So you should have a backup plan ready to quickly switch over to another supplier. So you should have 2 or 3 such options always ready. So these are certain examples which I am giving you, which as an entrepreneur you can take some decisions. Okay, also solving, if you have employees working for you, there could be some problems which arise between you and the employees or between the employees themselves. You have to solve those problems also. Okay, there is someone who is constantly on leave, you have to take into account that person also, either warn that person or just fire that person, right? So these are certain things which you need to keep in mind if you have a business. Learn the market, find your customer, which is very, very important. This is the most important part. They say customer is God. Okay, why? Because whatever the customer says or wants, that is the final say, right? You want to sell something, you have to first take into consideration the age group of the customers, whether your product which you are selling or the service which you are selling, is it targeted towards small infants or small children or teenagers or young working class or senior citizens or specifically men or specifically women? So this is like this. Like for example, aftershave lotion. Who do you think should use this? I want the answer from the boys. Aftershave lotion. It's a kind of a liquid which is generally applied on the face after shaving, just to get rid of that burning feeling after shaving. Okay, so who do you think should be using? Will a 1 year baby be using it? Can a 1 year old baby use it?
No, ma'am.
No,
Who
ma'am.
can use it? Will women use it?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, man.
Who will? Men will be using it, right? And those men who have beard. So this is how you target, you identify your customer. I'll give you one more example. Noodles. Who do you think would like noodles? Give your suggestions.
Ma'am, children,
Ma'am,
teenagers,
and young,
Children. Okay.
young men and women.
Young men and women.
young.
Okay. That is youth, I'll write. Bachelors, someone said, bachelors. And spinsters. Bachelors is the
Ma'am,
male
because
term.
kids
That
have
is
mothers at home.
because
The kids have mothers at home and they cook for them. But
Mhm.
like instant noodles are like more people like in hostels.
Yes, exactly. These are instant noodles which don't require a lot of time to prepare. Okay, so that is why it is most sought after food by people who are living alone. Okay, young boys and girls who live in hostels, so they can quickly just cook noodles or ramen. Okay, so this is like this. So okay, what about our the senior citizens? Do they like noodles? I have mostly found that senior citizens are
No, ma'am.
people who don't like noodles a lot. They don't have an inclination. They will just say, अरे ये आजकल के बच्चे ये सब noodles वगैरह खाते हैं, हमें तो ये सब नहीं पसंद. Because they haven't grown into that environment. When they were young, they never even knew that something like noodles exist in the world. Okay, so that is the reason why they are not too familiar with this product. So you need to identify your customer, learn your customer, learn the market. So find your customer. So we were talking about this thing. You need to first figure out that the type of product which you are trying to sell, it belongs or it would be demanded by which age group. Okay, for example, if it is cosmetics, mostly it is the women who are more attracted towards the cosmetics, and that too it is like the teenage women, teenage girls, as well as it is normally we can consider age group 16 to 50. These are the women who basically sought after. They are the ones who seek cosmetics much. So you have to target your customer. You have to take age into consideration. Information source, from where you are getting the information. What is the income level? Will they be able to afford your product or not? If it is a very costly thing, then if the product is very costly, only the upper class women, that is women belonging to the higher sections of the society or the elite sections of the society, will be able to afford the product. Okay, but not the others. So you have to keep in mind, either you prepare a range where you sell cosmetics for different sections of society so that many people can afford it, right? And also the hobbies, like what are most women, they are into makeup. Makeup is something which is sought after by many women. Only few might be there who don't prefer makeup, right? And these days, because of some allergic reactions also, People are becoming more conscious towards their health. They are health conscious, so they would want some herbal. The inclination is more towards herbal products which are made out of very herbal ingredients, and also they are not bad for the skin, which won't harm the skin. So these are the things which you need to keep in mind. You need to figure out what your customer wants, right? 4 P's. What are the 4 P's? The entrepreneur needs to take into account the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, promotion, and place of marketing. What is there in product? You can see function, what the product does, its packaging, and the services provided. Price, cost of product, whether any discount is being provided. If it is like festive season, normally during festive season there are heavy discounts which are given on most products. Margin, what is the profit margin which is kept? That is the difference between the selling price and the cost price. uh, Advertising, the promotion, that is advertising, promoting the product, making people know about the product. Sometimes it could be through word of mouth publicity also. Sometimes it could be through advertising. I mean, printing out flyers and posters, and designing big advertisement flex boards. And you might have seen various different kiosks and huge flex boards advertising products, advertising movies, advertising television serials, and various other things which are there on the roadside. And not only that, you see ad commercials in between TV shows, right? So, and also uh, ad commercials shown on the television, as well as advertisements in the printed electronic media, like on your in magazines, in newspapers, you might have seen. Or when you are visiting a website, you see some online, like websites are flooded heavily with ads. Okay, so you will find ads everywhere. Even when you search something in Google, you will find ads. So that is only there for promoting the products. Okay, until and unless people know about it, how are they going to get attracted towards it, right? Publicity, making people aware of the pros, mainly the pros, that is the good points or the advantages of buying your product. Place, distribution, place of marketing, where you are trying to sell the product. Logistics, that is the transport channel, from where the product, how the product is going to be transported from the warehouse, from the manufacturing plant to the warehouse, then to the wholesale market, and then to the retail shops, and the channel through which it is going. If too many middlemen will be there, that means it would be, the product will be very costly. So the seller should try to reduce the number of levels or channels in between for the growth and development of the enterprise. Session 3, this is again from your textbook, entrepreneurial skills. What are the skills needed? The success or failure of an enterprise depends on the efficiency of an entrepreneur who is involved in formulating and implementing a business plan and managing resources. He must possess some abilities and skills to perform various activities successfully. They are creativity. Firstly, he should have some creativity in mind. He should, like, there is a subtle difference between creativity and innovation, which you can see. Creativity is bringing something new into existence. Okay. Whereas innovation refers to doing new things. There is not much difference between the two. Innovating ideas, putting in something new. Okay, like if you are trying to sell sandwiches, now sandwiches have a simple constitution, that is, there is some filling in between two slices of bread. Now it completely depends upon your creativity, how you can innovate that, how you can create sandwiches with different types of fillings. Okay, how you can create, I mean, sometimes we can also, people are also experimenting with, like, creating a sandwich pizza or something like that, or bread pizza, right? Creating a fusion between two different types of dishes. So this is like you are trying to put in some innovation into it. Innovation is the unique recombination of the resources to give something new to the world. It can be a new method of decreasing the cost of production, improving design of the product, and increasing the market share by beating the competitors. Like you can see over here, I'll just give you one example, nice example. You can just search for this. It is a futuristic roll top foldable notebook computer with 17-inch OLED display, that is organic LED display, and full-fledged keyboard by the German design firm Orkin. Okay, so it is like there is a video which is available on YouTube, so you can just watch it. It's a roll top computer, foldable notebook. That is, you can fold it like this. It becomes highly portable. You don't even need a laptop bag to carry it somewhere. Then when you take it somewhere, you can easily unfold it. It will turn into a flexible laptop, as you can see over here. So somebody might have thought of this, that is, instead of carrying laptop in a bag, there should be some way in which laptop becomes highly portable. It is very lightweight. You can just take it and you can even carry it in a very crowded train also. It won't get damaged, so, and it won't take up too much space also. So this is like, it is, you can figure out a new method. You can figure out how you can purchase high quality raw materials, that too at lower costs, which would lead to lowering the overall market price of the product also. Okay, how you can beat the competitors, the again the rival companies which are there. So it completely depends upon the amount of innovation which the entrepreneur can put in. Dynamism. Replace inferior innovations across markets and industries with new products. See, many a times it happens that some entrepreneur has put in some innovation, but that innovation failed because it didn't go with the customer, right? There is an example here. Blockbuster is an online streaming platform. Okay, 2004, Blockbuster launches online on demand. That is, it was a platform for showing, it was a website which was for on demand videos and movies. Okay. So, what they did was they used to provide on demand movies and videos. That is, you had to pay some money to watch the movie. Okay. And also, they gave one very important thing, that is dropping the late fees. Late fees means it was something like, you can, at those times, 2004, we couldn't have thought about online streaming. So what, Blockbuster was a site which actually used to rent out VCRs. Okay, VCR was a device which was used to, like we had used it when we were young. We didn't have DVDs and CDs at those times. We had huge cassette recorders. Okay, large cassettes were there which were inserted into a device known as VCR. So that was video. It was like video cassette recorder. So it was inserted into the VCR device and we used to watch the movies, right? So Blockbuster was one such site which used to rent out VCRs, right? And they also, to attract the customers, they also gave out a nice offer, that is, those people who did not submit or did not return the VCR on time, they stopped collecting late fees from them. But even this was not much helpful in attracting customers. Around 2007, Blockbuster launches Total Access DVD by mail. That is, send a mail and you can access the DVD, right? But still, it got bankrupt in around 2012. Okay, this 2012, 2014, 2016, it continued to be bankrupt. Netflix started in 2002 and it just provided online streaming. That is, no need of renting VCRs, no need of renting cassettes. There was no problem of returning it, okay, on time or any time. Instead, on a monthly payment basis, people would be able to watch videos online. Okay, so it started online. It was an online streaming platform, right? and most of you are familiar with Netflix. So today it is even growing. Its popularity has grown a lot. So innovation should go with the customer. Okay, it should be able to attract the customer. That is, it's not like I made something innovative and the idea didn't click with the customer and I went bankrupt. Understood? So you have to be dynamic. You have to move along with the industry. Blockbuster, what annoys customers? Time consuming store visits. Netflix, what delights customers? Instant access from home. Blockbuster, no catalogs, no recommendations. Netflix, smart content recommendation system. Like you are a person who is very interested in action movies. Okay. Once you search a movie that is an action from an action genre, these days you can even filter movies based on their genre. So once you search for an action movie, next time Netflix is going to give you recommendations based on that. If you are interested in romantic stories, next time it is going to give you all recommendations based on the best romantic dramas and movies available, right? So that is a smart recommendation system which was absent in Blockbuster. Then in Blockbuster, late fees, late fees, late fees. Netflix, only subscription fees, unlimited rentals. You subscribe it once, every month you pay a fixed amount, and these days they have even dropped it to 199 per month for mobile platforms only. So just pay that amount in a month, it will be like a fixed charge, and you will be able to see unlimited number of movies and dramas and whatever you want. Expensive VCR
Ma'am,
machine, of course. Once, yes, you startled me. Yes, tell me.
ma'am, what is late fee?
Late fee is like VCR was a device, you know, it is a device for just like you have a DVD player, right? So it was a device for playing the huge cassettes. Early days, to watch movies, we did not get it in CDs or DVDs. We used to get it in large cassette tapes. Okay. And for playing those, we needed a device known as VCR. So that VCR had to be brought home. I remember very well when I was young, we used to watch some nice Hollywood movies. For that, we had a video library in Indrapuri. And what we used to do is we used to inform those people one day prior, and they used to come to our house, bring that huge VCR machine, and they used to bring their television also because we had a small television and they brought a huge color television. So television as well as the VCR machine was brought, and we used to get the cassettes also. We used to insert it, and we used to rent it for say 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, depending upon the number of days which we already had a talk with them. Now, if suppose we have rented it for 5 days, but so what happens is at the end of the fifth day, you have to return all the things back to the uh, shop, right? So that one, if you fail to return everything back to the shop at the right time, you are charged some late fees. Understood? That
Okay,
was
ma'am.
what happened. That was what happened with Blockbuster. But see, itna sara tamjham tha usme, right? So much of chaos. It was kind of chaotic. So instead of that, it was very easy for people to switch to an online platform where they could easily just pay some money online per month and get access to unlimited number of videos. They could watch them online without having the need to install any external device. People always want something which is suitable for them, which is convenient for them, right? So the convenience was something which led to the popularity of Netflix and the downfall of Blockbuster. Got it? And
Yes,
here
ma'am.
available on any smart devices, whether tablets, smartphones, computer, laptop, anywhere, right? You don't have to purchase any separate device for watching Netflix. Risk taking and decision making ability. Consider the risks involved in a decision, analyze the probability of success before taking any action. So risk has to be there, but then you have to be very good in decision making. You have to take quick decisions. Self motivation. Carry out certain tasks that are beyond their job requirements or the demand of the situation. Motivating yours, you will not it's not like every time you will have somebody at your dispense to keep motivating you, right? You have to keep motivating yourself from time to time. This is what we learned in the chapter self management, if you remember, the second chapter, self management. Okay, that is, you have to keep motivating yourself. So the entrepreneur needs to carry out certain tasks beyond their job requirements. It's not like I'm the entrepreneur, I will not drive the car. No, if need be, you will have to drive the car. Sometimes even the entrepreneur, when he is just starting his business, he has to do most of the job because he cannot afford to have too many employees, right? So he has to be present for any type of job which is there. Sometimes even he has to deliver the goods directly to the customer's premises. Or, and not only that, he should also be ready to do menial jobs for managing his office, like cleaning his office and all those things. It's not like I am the entrepreneur, I will just sit on a chair and I will just keep ordering things. No, right? Self confidence, of course, this is needed to fight adverse situations. Time management, complete a task within a given time frame, utilize the remaining time in self learning. That is, whatever time an entrepreneur gets after handling a day's job, at that time he should use for increasing his knowledge and skills. Persistence, keep pushing forward. Okay, don't stop, keep moving forward, not be discouraged by the initial failure or obstacle that they may face in achieving the goal. Yes, Sushma the toy maker, if you remember, can anybody relate it to that example? How Sushma was persistent towards her goal, even after constant failures. Some people rejected her toys because mostly children, they prefer what? Children love playing online games, okay, or mobile games. And instead, she was providing handmade wooden toys. So somebody complained, your wooden toys have sharp edges. She worked on that. Most people preferred buying from large established shops, so they did not want to purchase it from Sushma. Again, she had to endure that also. She made some alliance with these already established shops. She started her own blog. She started her own website to sell the toys. So she kept moving forward. She was not disheartened. She struggled for 2 whole years. Just imagine living on your own for 2 years with two kids without a husband. Okay. And also, I mean, there are living expenses. If she was living in a rented apartment, she had to pay the rent, she had to pay her bills, to have, she had to eat food also, right? And feed her two children also. So all these things are there. How do you think she might have survived along with doing her job also? So that is what persistence is needed. It's a needed quality of any entrepreneur. Problem solving. Apply unique and innovative strategies to solve problems. Like ये नहीं चला तो ये कर लिया. That is hit and trial and error. Okay. Identify the problem, define it, explore it, take some action, look back on your problem. So this cycle continues till you solve your problems. Flexibility. It helps an entrepreneur to be flexible enough to be able to adapt to the various varying market environment. Okay. Market will never remain the same. It will keep on changing. So you have to, the entrepreneur has to adapt. If plan A doesn't work, switch to plan B. You should always keep a plan B ready. In case one doesn't work, we can quickly move on to the next plan. Strategies of competitors. Now, when there are competitors in a market, you can see it from here. Everything under 99 cents. Okay. Dollar store. 2 for $1 grand opening. So you can see 3 different shops. They are putting up, they are trying different ways and means, and they are giving out different types of discounts for attracting more and more customers. I'll give you the example. You might have, everybody has visited DB Mall, right? Sometime in your life. We used to have there Hyper City. Now Hyper City is not there. We have Big Bazaar, and then we used to also have a Store 99 in the same mall. Store 99, everything under 99, 99, 199, okay, 299. So like this, the pricing was. Excuse me, sorry. So this way the pricing was fixed there. So these were like sometimes we preferred purchasing from Hypercity, and they were selling the same type of goods, but they were using different strategies. Okay, different types of discounts are provided by different stores selling the same type of goods for attracting customers. Okay. Preferences of customers. Of course, what the customer want, we need that. Vision. Visualize the way to successfully complete the tasks to achieve the set goals and objectives. Right? You need to visualize, you need to have a long-term vision, you need to see what you are going to do. Example, Prem Ganapati, he had a vision in mind that someday I would start my dosa restaurant. Okay. So, in pursuit of that dream, he struggled a lot. He worked in Chinese restaurants also. He washed dishes. He cleaned the tables. Okay. So, he did many things, but then his goal was always there in his mind. Okay. So, he stuck to his goals. So, in order to, you should have a proper vision of what you are going to do. Entrepreneurs should communicate with all the shareholders of the enterprise, that is all people who have invested into the enterprise. Leadership, entrepreneur must be able to manage all the issues effectively, generate resources, and influence others to perform efficiently. Technical knowledge. Entrepreneur must know the technical aspects of operations taking place in the enterprise. How? You can see formal education and training programs. They are the best way of acquiring technical skills. Some more: computer programming, writing, mathematics, law. These things also help increase the skills. Job success typically requires combination of hard skills and soft or interpersonal skills. Hard skills are computer programming, writing, any type of skill needed to do the skill specific, the job specific skills. That is, if you are a very good programmer, you can create nice programs. Okay, you can be an asset to the company when it comes to testing. If you can convince people, this can be considered as a wonderful trait for marketing jobs. Marketing, sales. Okay, people who are able to convince others, persuade others to buy something. There are many people, you will find that they use different ways and means to entice the customer. Okay, to attract customers, right? If you have wonderful designing skills, you can work for the advertising department, you can work in for promotion of the product, right? So students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just thought that maybe, anyways, that's good. So if you have very good designing skills, if you are good in Photoshop, Corel Draw, something, you can create nice advertisements, posters. For example, if you remember Andrea's case, okay, she was a designer, and she was very, although she was skilled, but she was very nervous. She didn't have the self confidence. Okay, so she was working in the advertising department, which used to create nice posters for events, for concerts, and they were, at that time they were working on a concert, if you remember. Okay. Then this one, then certain other departments are there, like those who are very good in math or calculations. They can work in the finance department, right? So it is like different skill sets are needed. So these skills are what? These are hard skills. That is job specific skills, skills required for doing the job. Apart from that, we also need some soft skills. What are the soft skills? They are mostly skills which are used for communicating with others. Communication skills, interpersonal skills, how to talk to people, how to, I mean, even if you are an introvert, whether you are an introvert or an outward, okay, outrovert, you have to be able to at least have basic communication skills. You should be able to properly communicate with all departments, right? So that is needed, right? So those are what? Soft skills. You can also learn some foreign language so that you can communicate with foreign delegates also. You will get a priority over there, right? So this is what entrepreneurs should know, the technical aspects of operations taking place in the enterprise. For example, these operations may include systems, procedures, methodology used in production, right? So all these things, the entrepreneur should be aware about these things. Like for example, Soumya's case, she purchased a snack machine, right? So if she purchased a snack machine, she should know the basic repairing, she should have basic repairing skills, so that in case the machine, something goes wrong with it or machine malfunctions, she doesn't have to depend upon someone else. She doesn't have to always depend upon a technician for getting it done. She can handle minor problems herself itself. Okay. Functions of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur takes risk, organizes resources to establish and operate his enterprise, identifies the existing market opportunities, analyzes the uncertainties involved, and performs the promotional activities to launch the enterprise. All it is a gist, it is a summary of this whole chapter. Idea generation, identify business opportunities, choose most appropriate business opportunity, transform opportunity or idea into successful business venture. So we already studied about this. That is, first of all, identify opportunities in the market, choose the opportunity which will suit you best and it will also suit your interest, okay, and transform it into a business startup. Promotion, promoting the enterprise, attracting investors from outside, because until and unless you have, see, many a times it will happen that the entrepreneur may not have the necessary capital, right? Like Prem Ganapati, he was a poor man, he didn't have any money, so he just acquired a simple loan from his uncle and his son and his cousins, okay? So they put in some money into it, and it's not like that. Many a time investors means there are people who want to, if they find the idea quite interesting and if they feel that this idea is going to click with the customers and more profit, there is a chance of earning profit, so they invest money into the enterprise. Expanding the existing enterprise, merging two or more enterprises, okay? So these things are there. Risk and uncertainty bearing. Risk will always be there, so you have to take a calculated risk every time. Arranging for finance, you have to arrange for the finance, you have to figure out from where you will get the money, okay? And staffing, that is, what type of staff do you need, what is the skill set you are looking for in the people you are going to hire for doing the job. Okay, so this is about enterprise, right? Any questions, any doubts you want to ask on this? Let us do some activities.
No, ma'am.
Students, I hope you people have understood this chapter properly, because it was not a very easy chapter as compared to the other chapters. Okay, so I really think that you people should be able to identify it properly. Okay. I'm going to start with this activity now. We still have some time. So this will be an individual activity. What you have to do is, okay, this we have already done. Just give me a moment, students, okay? Let's do this. Read the following statements and write yes or no as to whether the person is an entrepreneur or not. So just give, I'll just mm, full screen snip of this. Hmm. Okay, now tell me. Ravi made tea for his friends in the office. Everyone liked the tea very much and told him that he is very good at making tea.
No.
Read the following statement and write yes or no as to whether the person is an entrepreneur or not. Okay. Everyone liked the tea and told that he is very good at making tea. So can we consider him an entrepreneur?
No, ma'am.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Savita, a housewife,
Yes,
needs
ma'am.
extra money for her kids' tuition. She notices that in the afternoon, the children coming out of a nearby college look tired and hungry. She makes refreshing nibu pani and samosas and sells them to the students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, this could be considered. Rahul loves dogs. He plays with dogs of his friend's family. One day, when they were going out of station, they asked Rahul to take care of their dog. Rahul thought that this was a good idea, taking care of dogs when the owner is traveling. He started his own company, which is like a hotel for dogs. There is a famous Hollywood movie also, Hotel for Dogs, where a teenage boy he just sees some dogs in distress, okay, some stray dogs, and brings them to an abandoned hotel. So he, with help of his friends, he renovates the hotel and turns it into a hotel for dogs. When the dog owners travel, they leave their dogs at this hotel and pay the company money for each day they take care of the dog. Is
Yes.
Rahul an entrepreneur? I
Yes.
definitely think he is an
Yes,
entrepreneur.
ma'am.
Okay, but I'm a little doubtful about Savita because she's not doing something out of the ordinary. You will find that many places people start stalls selling these samosas, nibu pani, and all, right? So I don't think this can be considered as entrepreneur because this is not something out of the ordinary or out of the box, right? She can be considered as a self-employed person. Fourth one, Monica noticed that her neighbors used to face a problem. They had to leave their young baby behind when they went for work. Monica started going to this house in the evening to take care of the baby for them. Her neighbors were very happy and used to give her chocolates for doing that. Is Monica an entrepreneur?
No, ma'am.
No,
No, ma'am.
because she is not earning money and rather she is going to their house for doing this. And she is doing it because, she did it out of a hobby. She never took this as a full-fledged business or something. Okay, so this is how we need to identify the problems. Answer the following questions in your own words. Gulab lives in a small village in Rajasthan. Gulab is a girl, okay? She noticed that all the women in her village were good at making paintings and handicraft products. She collected money and started a business. Gulab would help the women to get material from cities and support them in making latest designs. She would then arrange for these paintings and handicraft products to be sold in big cities. How do you think Gulab is helping her society as an entrepreneur?
Ma'am, she is helping increasing employment, which is contributing to the country's economy.
Okay. And moreover, there is one more point there. So we would be discussing this in our next class. So with this, I end today's class, students.